have to tag for you if you want it.
Sure. Should I put it on me or?
For you. Yeah.
Cool, yeah. I love it.
Hey, if we close it, what would happen?
Yeah, I'll show you. Is this part of the work? Piano? It's what? Okay, the keyboard.
I'm going to go in the back for a second, but if you want to move that table, yeah. Not screaming.
There'll be any kind of purpose to it.
Oh, it's not even out of tune.
Well, there it is. There it is. Sorry, didn't look. This is my piece over here. The beautiful thing about this space and the whole waterfront is that people are already starting to turn it into a park. I mean, there's a big area down there that we call the Palazzo that some guy built some really wonderful wood and brick benches, and then a friend and I built a little planter, and people use it. I mean, there's people out there, especially in the summer, people use it, and it's a beautiful spot to sit and look at the city. And, you know, this art show, I always see people down here doing creative things, and they're paying for it themselves. They really have no reason to do it, except that in this neighborhood, which is so heavily industrial, it's one of the only patches of nature or, you know, green or anything that we have. And for an artist, I think especially, it's a really beautiful area because you have so much horizontal. It's like you can see so far, and you just don't really get that in a lot of parts of the city. It's beautiful. For this site, Charles has a really great plan. He wants to turn it into a community art center for everyone in the community to come and do art and use it as a place not only to do art and have community involvement in like environmental issues and waterfront issues in this neighborhood, but also to serve as kind of a resource center that can connect other parts of Brooklyn's waterfront organizations, of Brooklyn's arts organizations, just kind of a nexus for people all over Brooklyn to come and rebuild and rejuvenate and just do a lot of really positive things. And it's a great idea. It's too bad. I think if we don't do something about a lot of these buildings and kind of come down here and be really active in trying to reclaim it, that's what's going to happen. You know, landlords don't want to pay to keep it up. They don't care so much about what the needs of the community are, and they're just going to come and tear it down, and then we're just going to have rubble, you know. Well, I mean, first of all, the space is so vast that there's a number of things that people could do that would all be just fine. But the saddest thing that I think would be for it to be turned into a park, and the park would be a park like Battery Park City, which is a concrete park with like 2 really organized trees sticking up. That would be bad. Charles!
How are you, wicked woman? You know, I like what that guy did over there. No, when he teased. Oh yeah, it's just really great to let the community have a space like this to use. You know. I'm just, like, to me, it's like, you know, I didn't do it, God did it, you know. That's how my mom says it. It's like, and that's really the best way to look at things, is people see them in the wrong perspective. So it's really great when, you know, you can get a lot of people involved with the community to sort of come out here and get involved. And when you can use your talents to, you know, have things work in your way, in your favor. So it's hard to find places like this in cities anymore, because cities are really becoming, everybody's really becoming, you know, really bad. Everybody's out there. Put a shopping center up, everybody's more money-oriented, and you kind of kill certain things. So I think it's good if the community can get a lot of this space, if they sort of got a space that could be organic for them in a way that they wouldn't feel the pressures of all the other things that can be a little wicked at some point. Sometimes, you know, development's really good. It gets rid of a lot of decay and things like that. Well, see, I think that there's a lot of creative people in the community. I think that could, and I think the Pratt has the Pratt Center, and they like to sort of design with the community's wishes. And I think that, you know, normally you just have to take like one day at a time. You know, people have probably lost a lot of money over this property, so they want to get paid too. So it's like a trade-off. You let some things live and other things live too. I think it works. I mean, the bad thing about it when money gets involved is that you warehouse these buildings. You're not going to spend the security to keep them from being destroyed or messed up, and then the derelicts come to them because nobody's here. So it makes it a little unsafe because, you know, a derelict might have a worse friend who might be more dangerous than he is, and it becomes a haven for people to hang out. So at the same time, the more people you get involved in it, then there's life. You know, most people have neighbors in their own blocks. The waterfront breeds two different things. It breeds people that want to see how beautiful it is and people that have no place to go and hide. So, you know, those things really have to be addressed, and you know, it's just, you know, really coming together and just getting people involved, I think. And because a lot of times people are out to lunch about the waterfront until it's summertime because it's nice to come down here. But you know, it's hard to sort of even homestead a place like this because you know, when I leave, no one's here. It's open to whatever. So the more life you can have, the more things generated, really is the most important thing.
I was thinking maybe this can control the...
You want to have two levels, Susan? This level here and that level there?
I don't want to change my name to Susan.
I mean, Phyllis, forgive me.
No,
there's two Susans here or something, and I've just been saying Susan a lot. I don't mean to do that.
Not the glass.
Okay,
But
I can go
I don't
deeper.
know.
You want to pull it out?
Let's see what happens.
Is it? Well, it looks like you just can't. It's beautiful in there, Susan. I'll just go a little deeper. Are you ready? Look at all the colors in there. Oh, you can put sparkles in here.
Well, it's the return of the light. It's winter solstice. No, I was telling you that this show of Marni's is supposed to be the first of 3 or 4.
Really?
And that it's based on the Kabbalah, the tree of life. So when I was thinking of this is the beginning of it, what I thought of was light. You know, things start from light. And somebody just came by and said it's a very sensitive piece, which made me feel good, because everything else here is so much bigger and more obvious.
Can you see this site as being a place for art in the future?
This, fantastic. It's already art without anything added. But what Charles has done. There, that's nice, isn't it? It's getting beautiful. It's the light coming from the earth. The generation of all life, light.
What these guys are sort of putting together here seems kind of interesting here, and just sort of making it available to people, you know, to put up artwork, maybe do some performances, or just, I don't know, a whole bunch of possibilities. Supposedly there's going to be a park, and then, you know, I don't know.
This is fine.
I mean, I like it the way it is, actually.
Kind of
I mean, one of the reasons I moved to
Yeah.
this neighborhood was sort of the post-industrial sort of, you know, openness and, you know, possibility, things like that. As an installation artist, I would love to have a chance to just do something in one of these spaces. I didn't think it was a possibility, even remotely. Even here, I didn't know that there was any kind of access or anybody owned this. I mean, if that were allowed, I would love to do something like that. I would want him to do something like that forever. But you never imagine that's an actual possibility, because you figure someone owns it, they're just sitting on it, don't want anybody messing around, liability and things like that, or they want to wait until someone buys it up and develops it. So the thing is, there are no parks in this area of any sort. It's not meaning that you have to sort of like clean everything up and landscape it to death or anything like that. I mean, I think it's fine as it is. People are willing to deal with that. I don't know. I like it the way it is.
Secret passage. You know, maybe we can roll it on one of these logs. What?
The title of the show is Signs, Forms, Systems Converging, Life Emerging, and we're using the Tree of Life from the Kabbalah as a model for understanding or thinking about the underlying systems that make up our daily lives. That isn't to say there is some confusion about, like, what does the Tree of Life have to do with this? And it's not, we're not like studying the Kabbalah or Jewish mysticism. We're just, the Tree of Life is a schema for understanding the overall way that, you know, the universe works and the systems that it operates by. And I think that I'm trying to get the artists here to think about the many networks that they exist in their environment, and in this environment of Williamsburg and in the city and environment and on many different levels. So, well, right over there, the city may build a waste transfer station. So, and this basic area could be up for development in many different ways any time. Charles doesn't have any kind of a permanent lease or anything. He's just temporarily allowed to rent this space. I think that it's really, I think that Charles has started a really important space for people for artists in the community to really engage with the environment, and like, it's called Operation Greenhouse, and it's a really like a grassroots community arts center. It's inviting people from the neighborhood to come together and for new ideas and a new language to evolve out of that. It's different than a traditional art space where it's really tied in with kind of you know, pre-existing standards of what art is and all that. This space is just like, you know, raw. And I've planned a series of shows around the specific theme of working with underlying systems of organization and patterns in life, and using the Tree of Life as a model. This is the first one, and in this one, the idea is that the the artists participating in a series of shows are getting a sense of these systems like emerging from the landscape and from the environment. And the next show, we're actually going to build a three-dimensional like tree of life model in the cave, actually, and that's going to be the next step. We're going to actually build one of these systems and see what we think about it.
Why don't you go for it?
Oh, pass by, they'll know.
Please do. I walked by, not realizing.
I think all the waterfront areas should be accessible to the community, and people love to come. You know, it's a thrilling vision to look at the city from the waterfront over here. And it's a shame that there are so few places where you can do that. So, yeah, this would be a great one. That would be a perfect use for it.
London plane trees. They're not sycamores.
That's what this really is a plane tree?
Yeah, London plane, like a plane is in the conversation.
Yeah. Right.
In 1806, a biologist took a London plane maple and crossbred it with a sycamore, and all the trees, all the sycamore-looking trees in Manhattan and the Bronx and Brooklyn are London plane trees. And this is one of them that grew up in McCarran Park. And it became infested with Japanese beetles, and the city chopped it down, and I scooped it up and carved this piece out of it and killed all the bugs that were still in it.
So I'm putting it all in one place so it doesn't interfere with you guys. I'm just the newsstand on the corner.
Come with me.
It was a piece of metal that I had hanging around, so I call it the horse's tail, the private tail. No, it doesn't work. I'm working with horses in my work right now, and I had a few weeks to prepare for this. So I thought of a simple way to outline a horse, and I like putting things together with nuts and bolts. This was the first title, but now I'd like to, don't get my dirty fingernails. I haven't had much sleep lately.
Stay, then I'll do more of this. You know, we'll have a big production. No, music, not just, you know, theater, whatever. Did you write it? Did you write it in that notebook, or did you write it on the more professional looking on the piano table?
I'm doing on the piano table.
That's me.
Okay, my number's on. Should I give that to you? Right?
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, when the final thing will tighten.
It always sounds great.
No, it looks good. It looks authentic.
Well, why don't we do this? We'll put oak, you know, put operations, put signs for.
Years ago, this was all flower depots. was cold storage warehouses, 1 story high. All the flour that came in from to the East Coast from Chicago and the mills came down here, was stored here, and then people picked it up and brought it to the bakeries. All your pizza doughs and pies and all from the East Coast that were made here in the bakery, all that flour came in here. This was all flour sheds, warehouses. The people that were running this railroad and these properties were going out of business because there was no land spurs, you know, to put any railroad cars or anything to come in by land. They were all coming in by float. So what they did was they were getting rid of this property here. In '88, there was this guy, Morris Bailey, came to us. He wanted to do a project with housing on this property with the promenade on the waterfront. And he was talking about, you know, big buildings. And Howie Golden got in touch with me, and when I came and met with the guy, because I was chairman of the waterfront committee with the community board then. And they told me about this thing that was going on. So I met with Morris Bailey, with Howie Golden, to see if we could help him out. The problem with the whole project here is the rezoning. The zoning would be changed in '88. We would have had housing here. We would have had the promenade on the waterfront. I don't know what kind of chance, but as long as you got Charles staying down here with all his stuff, and I'm sure if they do take over the property, whoever buys it, a bank, I guess the guy that buys the property, instead of moving all the stuff, might leave Charles here. This might become a part of the community.
Sure, yeah, I live right down the street. I've been here for about 3.5 years, and trying to keep it going. I guess just being taken advantage of, because there's such a wonderful facility that can, I mean, you can do anything with it. Keep it as an art space. Keep it as a space where you can continually do site-specific works, and like we've done today.
I've been in this neighborhood since 1980. And I love this space, and Charles has done so much for it, and he's always welcomed people from the neighborhood. You know, you let him know, and you come in, and you can make work here, and it's really good for the community. And just like this is an open show, where a lot of people just came and put their work, and everybody in the neighborhood is invited to come see the show, and this could be a real center for this neighborhood. Something that can't happen in Manhattan, that can only happen in Brooklyn, in our community of Brooklyn.